Kids for Positive Change is brought to you in part by Robert S. Morrison Foundation, Molded Fiberglass Foundation, Huffman Mayer Wealth Management Group of Wells Fargo Advisors, a friend of Kids for Positive Change, After School Discovery, Nancy Warner, and viewers like you. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Camille, and this is Bree, the Rescue Rooster. Join Bree, me, and the Kids for Positive Change team to take positive action for animals, people, and the planet. Are you ready, Bree? Are you ready? Let's meet the team.
Hi, I'm Sadie.
Giselle.
Jalen.
Jenna.
Emma.
Tyree.
Hi, I'm Hunter. Gracie.
Sal.
Chance.
Tula.
Hi, I'm Clara.
Adversity. Ariana.
Hey, I'm Quinn.
We are Kids for Positive Change.
We're the Kids for Positive Change, working together so we can arrange bright ideas and actions with help from our heartbeat to heal our planet, 'cause we're one family. Our goal is finding solutions we need to save our planet. Let's start with the seed that grows into actions to help light the way. Kids for Positive Change, come join us today.
Today, we're learning about porcupines, deforestation, climate change, and how we can take positive action. Earth is rich with a variety of life. Above us, below us, and everywhere in between, there is a magnificent variety of species, genes, and ecosystems interconnected with one another. This is called biodiversity.
We share Earth with a variety of species.
Some big, some small, some tiny, some tall, some furry, some feathered, squishy, scaly, prickly, and poisonous, armored, shelled, smooth, rough, and tough. These species live on every continent, in every climate, keeping ecosystems balanced and connect to each other and even to us.
So let's break it down. Species are groups of specific living organisms. Wolves, whales, and wolverines are all different species. Maple, oak, and elm trees are all different species.
Groups of species have a variety of genes.
Wait, but what do genes have to do with life on Earth?
No, not those types of genes. No, this is DNA, genetics, those types of genes. Gray wolves, red wolves, and Arctic wolves are all species of wolves, but they are not exactly the same because their genes are different. The same is true for white oak, live oak, and red oak trees. All of these species, with their different genes, live in ecosystems. Forests, deserts, grasslands, wetlands, coral reefs are examples of different ecosystems.
Every species in every ecosystem has a role to play in keeping those ecosystems balanced and depend on one another to survive and thrive.
This is called species interconnectivity.
See, when species are healthy and balanced, ecosystems are healthy and balanced, and the Earth is healthy and balanced too.
But Earth is off balance because one particular species is causing a lot of problems.
Oh, humans.
What problems are humans causing?
Deforestation and habitat loss, destroying or fragmenting wild habitats by mining, mowing, logging, drilling, dredging, and fracking, and for ranches, roads, palm oil plantations, farmland, factories, and urban sprawl.
When habitats disappear, so do many species of plants, animals, insects, arachnids. I mean, you get the picture. Pollution, air pollution, soil pollution, water pollution.
And what about light pollution and noise pollution?
Plastic pollution.
Strikes. Vessel strikes injure and kill marine life. Window strikes injure and kill birds.
Introducing and reducing. Introducing species that don't belong in a particular ecosystem. Now, these species are invasive species and they harm native species.
Reducing species by killing them for their fur or body parts out of fear to protect farm animals or crops, or just because a species is in the way.
Overconsumption, using Earth's natural resources like land, wood, and water faster than they can be replaced.
And the big one, a hot topic, literally, climate change.
Climates are changing because the Earth's temperature is rising, and the Earth's temperature is rising because of greenhouse gases, carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide. These are naturally occurring greenhouse gases. But we've got way too much in the Earth's atmosphere right now because of humans. Tyree, it's gonna be okay, all right?
But there are so many problems facing Earth and biodiversity.
I don't know what to do.
Look, well, I mean,
we can
do things like this. We can start small.
Let's push pause. There are many problems facing Earth and biodiversity, but we don't have to tackle all of them today. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. You okay? You good? Yeah. Okay.
It's true, humans are part of the problem, but humans are also part of the solution.
When we take positive action to stop deforestation and curb climate change, we save and protect biodiversity.
Let's see what we save.
Prehensile-tailed porcupines call forests in South America home. They're arboreal, which means they live in and depend on trees.
Their prehensile muscular tail is 13 to 19 inches long and helps them balance when moving through trees, grasping branches, and even hanging upside down.
Prehensile-tailed porcupines are herbivores who feed on parts of trees like bark, buds, roots, fruits, stems, leaves, and flowers.
Prehensile-tailed porcupines sure know how to communicate. They moan, hiss, yelp, groan, squeak, and mew.
Palm porcupines hold their quills flat, but when upset will raise their quills. Let's talk about those quills. Porcupines have sharp, barbed quills and unique adaptations to protect themselves from predators.
Biomimicry means to copy a cool adaptation from nature and apply it to human engineering.
Medical researchers are studying porcupine quills to make better medical needles and staples that would be stronger and cause less damage to the body.
Way cool!
Are you ready to hang out with a quirky, cute prehensile-tailed porcupine? This is Mirabelle, a prehensile-tailed porcupine who's an animal ambassador here at the Akron Zoo. Mirabelle's with our expert guests, Allison and Melanie. Guys, welcome.
Thank you.
So yeah, we're just here to ask some questions about Mirabelle and get to know her a bit.
Absolutely.
Clara, do you want to start off?
Yeah, so how do these types of porcupines contribute to a healthy ecosystem?
Absolutely. So she is an herbivore. So she's going to be eating a lot of different plants out in the rainforests of South America. So she's going to help with seed dispersal as she eats different seeds and nuts and fruits and things like that, and then travels around throughout the trees and poops and leaves those poops with seeds and nuts and things throughout. That's a really great seed dispersal technique.
So what does she sort of need to sort of survive and thrive in this sometimes rough and scary climate?
Yeah, absolutely. So she needs all of those fruit, seeds, nuts, leaves, all of those healthy things to be able to eat. She needs fresh water sources, even though she will get a good amount of water from like the leaves and the barks as she eats. A fresh water source is always good. And she just needs really healthy, full forests. So these guys are native to the old growth forests in South America. So having those intact forest systems helps them to survive.
And what are some of the problems that they're facing in their environment?
Absolutely. So climate change is a big one, as it can change the temperatures of their area, and then deforestation too. So they need those great big forests to have their territories. So as those forests are cut down for human use, it gives them less opportunity to move around, find food, find mates, those sorts of things.
Prehensile-tailed porcupines rely on trees and forests to survive and thrive. But deforestation in South America is adding to the climate crisis. When forests come down, they can't absorb the plant-warming greenhouse gas carbon dioxide, which could impact the rain and water cycle, which could throw the prehensile-tailed porcupine's ecosystem out of balance.
As this happens, they can't play their important roles in keeping the ecosystem's balance.
This leads to something called a cascading effect. When one thing goes down, it starts a chain reaction.
This is a big problem. It sure is.
But together, we can find solutions and take positive action.
We know small steps and bright ideas lead to big results.
Are we ready to take positive action?
Yeah!
So Clara and I are part of the Kids for Positive Change team, and obviously we're always looking for ways to take action. So what's some positive action we can take to help Mirabelle and other porcupines?
Yeah, absolutely. Anything we can do to save the rainforest and curb climate change, so reducing, reusing, recycling, things like that. Participating in cancer corridors or other recycling programs, things that can help to create more forest spaces. We, with Cancer Corridors, build corridors that connect different habitat fragments to allow animals to pass through and find the food, the mates, the resources that they need
And overall, just reducing our consumption, getting things secondhand when we can, getting Rainforest Alliance certified products, things certified by the Roundtable for Sustainable Palm Oil, all of those ways that we can help keep the forest as healthy and sustainable as possible.
And I guess my last question is, would that sort of, apply to kids too who
Yeah,
want to help?
absolutely,
Yeah.
100%.
We can be earth advocates for prehensile-tailed porcupines and all biodiversity. We can share knowledge by making an informative flyer about prehensile-tailed porcupines and how important it is to protect their forest habitats.
We can save trees by using less paper products and more reusable products. We can remember to recycle the paper we do use.
We can eat everything on our plates to stop food waste. This helps curb climate change too.
Did you know solutions that helping biodiversity also curb climate change? It's a positive double whammy. Positive whammy number 1. Protecting and restoring wild habitats allows biodiversity to do what it does best. Trees, grasses, and healthy soil absorb carbon dioxide, a leading greenhouse gas causing climate change. More trees, grasses, and healthy soil, less CO2 in Earth's atmosphere. Positive whammy number 2. Stopping climate change starts with sustainable choices. Now, sustainable choices reduce or can even stop the release of climate-warming greenhouse gases, carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide into Earth's atmosphere, allowing biodiversity to survive and thrive. There's another species of porcupine that needs to survive and thrive, the North American porcupine. Meet Forrest, a North American porcupine who's an animal ambassador here at the Akron Zoo. Forrest is with expert guest Jen. Jen, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
True or false? Porcupines are a large rodent.
That's true. They are actually the second largest rodent in North America. The largest is the beaver. And would you like a chance to feed him? And you'll get to see those large rodent teeth that he has. He's just finishing up his last snack. But as he's chewing, you can see he's got those large rodent teeth. They even look a little bit orange. It's not that he needs to brush his teeth. It's actually extra layers of enamel that keep his teeth really nice and strong, because these animals are herbivores and they eat really any part of the tree. So they have to have those really strong teeth.
True or false? Porcupines shoot their quills when threatened.
That's actually false. A lot of people think they can, but they do not. The way the quills work is they are barbed on the outside end and then they are loosely attached to the skin. So if an animal comes in contact and tries to harm him, those quills will get stuck and then fall out of his skin. And I can show you those quills. If you look, this is all his guard hairs, but actually underneath is where you'll find the quills. If I lift up, you'll be able to see underneath there's 30,000 quills that are all stacked.
Porcupines, biodiversity, Earth, and us. What's the connection?
Look, porcupines are an important part of the food web. When they forage, they disperse food and nutrients, which keeps biodiversity healthy. Healthy biodiversity, healthy Earth, healthy humans. But unfortunately, North American porcupines are often hit by cars. So I'm wondering, Jen, what are ways that kids can help and make a difference?
Yeah, so porcupines often do come in contact with cars because although they're really strong animals, they're kind of built like a tank. They're very strong, but they only travel at about 2 miles an hour. So a way you can help, even if you can't drive yet, you can help by watching the roads as you're driving and alerting people that are driving if you see animals on the side that are getting ready to cross, and just kind of bringing that attention to those animals to hopefully prevent them from being victims of being hit by cars.
Taking positive action to save and protect biodiversity is something to celebrate. Isn't that right, Bree? Let's keep going. Or in chicken speak, crowing.
It's time to pivot from porcupines to poison dart frogs. Let's hop to it.
Let's see what we save.
Green poison dart frogs call the rainforest home in Central and South America. They like to be near water.
Green poison dart frogs are carnivores. They eat spiders and small insects, which help control these populations.
Poison dart frogs are, poisonous. They have poison glands on the surface of their body.
Indigenous communities use a poison dart frog's poisonous secretions on the tips of arrows and darts when hunting.
Biomimicry means to copy a cool adaptation from nature and apply it to human engineering.
Engineers are working on an ice-proof coating for airplanes based on the poison dart frog secretions.
Wait a minute. Would airplanes be, poisonous?
Not really. Studies show the toxicity of the poison from the poison dart frog is linked to what they eat in the wild. Feed a poison dart frog a different diet, well, eventually, the poison is not, poisonous.
Get ready to meet green poison dart frogs, animal ambassadors here at the Akron Zoo. With them is expert guest and educator Deb. Deb, welcome.
Thank you.
Pleasure to have you. So yeah, we're just here to ask you some questions about these poison dart frogs.
Absolutely.
So, how does a green poison dart frog contribute to keeping our ecosystem healthy and thriving each
Well,
day?
they are an indicator species. That means if there's something going wrong, they're among the first animals to be able to show it. For instance, with their skin, they breathe through their skin. So if there's any type of pollution, that's going to enter their system through their skin. So if they start dropping out and there aren't quite as many, that could be a good indicator for other animals that, there's something bad going on.
And kind of jumping on that, what do they sort of need to survive and thrive in this tough climate?
They're a rainforest species, and they actually need soil. They need water, lots of water. They need places to hide under bark, things like that. So those are the things that they're really going to need, and they're going to be eating insects mostly. So, those are the major things they need.
Well, what problems are sort of these green dart frogs facing? And does that include climate change?
Oh, it absolutely includes climate change because sometimes they can't find the food that they need. The insects aren't around as much, there aren't as many of them, but also, lots of things are changing for them in the rainforest. They're losing their habitats. And so, that's a big thing for all animals, but especially poison dart frogs.
Green poison dart frogs are being impacted by habitat loss and over time could be impacted by climate change.
As this happens, they can't play their important roles in keeping the ecosystem's balance.
This leads to something called a cascading effect. When one thing goes down, it starts a chain reaction.
This is a big problem. It sure is.
But together, we can find solutions and take positive action.
We know small steps and bright ideas lead to big results.
Are we ready to take positive action?
Yeah!
Yeah, well, me and my buddy Sal here are on the Kids for Positive Change team, so we're all about trying to take action. So I guess we're wondering what sort of positive action can one take to help these frogs?
Well, one of the major things is make people aware of climate change.
Yes.
That's such a positive thing that people can do, and find ways to contribute to the health of the rainforest. Let people know. Try to stop forest fragmentation. And, they can't do it on their own. They're little. They need people like you to help.
Yeah, and just jump on that. We're Kids for Positive Change. We're all about kids. So what can kids do to help,
Well, you know what? Recycling is a good thing. There are many, many conservation programs that you can use the money from recycling to help add to the rainforest, whether it's planting new trees, whether it's finding areas that can be put away just for conservation of certain animals. And that's what you guys can do.
We can all be Earth advocates for green poison dart frogs and all of biodiversity. We can share our knowledge by telling friends and family about green poison dart frogs and how important it is to protect their forest habitats.
Wow, the Akron Zoo rocks, or in chicken speak, walks. Let's meet more animal ambassadors, learn about the problems they're facing, and how we can take positive action.
It's time to venture into vulture territory.
Let's see what we save.
Turkey vultures call North and South America home. The turkey vulture and black vulture soar through the skies right here in the state of Ohio.
Did you know that turkey vultures have excellent eyesight and the best sense of smell of all birds?
They use these senses to find carrion, another word for dead animals. Turkey vultures are scavengers and will eat fresh or rotting dead animals.
Ew. What's on the menu seems pretty gross, but turkey vultures do Earth and us an incredible service. By eating decomposing dead animals, they prevent the spread of bacteria and disease.
Turkey vultures have unique adaptations to help them dine. Their heads are mainly bald with just a few whisker-like feathers, and this allows them to keep their heads clean while dining on carrion, aka dead animal.
And what about all that blood?
It's true, turkey vultures can get a lot of blood in their feet while feeding on carrion, but see, they excrete a sticky urine onto their feet which cleans and disinfects them.
Cool.
Oh, yeah, it is. I mean, turkey vultures are thought to be dirty birds, but actually, they're pretty clean.
Biomimicry means to copy a cool adaptation from nature and apply it to human engineering.
Medical scientists are studying how a vulture's resistance to infection can be applied to humans.
And the Wright brothers got it right by modeling their airplane design off of soaring birds like vultures. Way cool!
Soaring onto screen is Tex, a turkey vulture who's an animal ambassador here at the Akron Zoo. With Tex is expert guest and educator Allison. Allison, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. This is me and my friend Gracie. We're just here to ask you a few questions about Tex. So, do you have any questions to begin with?
How old is he?
That is a great question. Tex is almost 40 years old. So we are all very excited to celebrate his 40th birthday next year here at the Akron Zoo.
There you go, wow. So, happy birthday to Tex. So how does the turkey vulture sort of, contribute to keeping our ecosystem healthy and thriving?
Great question. So turkey vultures are really important for our environment. So these are kind of nature's cleanup crew. So Tex is perfectly adapted for his favorite food, which is dead stuff. So these animals are soaring around overhead and smelling for those dead, rotten carcasses that might be in the forests, that might be on the side of the roads. They're making their way down. They're using their great big feet to hold that carcass down, and then they're using that hooked beak to rip, pull, and shred. Now, by doing that, they are actually helping to keep our neighborhoods clean, not only by getting rid of that yucky carcass, but also by keeping those carcasses from building up dangerous bacteria that otherwise would make its way into our neighborhoods and communities.
There you go. So what does a turkey vulture like Tex here need to sort of survive and thrive in the wild?
Absolutely. So they're going to need space to roost. So they're going to mainly be in deciduous forested areas and other spaces. So that way they're going to be in large roosted areas, but they're very well adapted animals. So they do well in human populated spaces. So these animals have a lot of really good evolutionary advantages that allow them to adapt to different spaces.
And sort of what problems are turkey vultures facing?
Right, absolutely. So just like with other birds, experiencing habitat loss, so not having that roosting space can create problems for them. But big issues with turkey vultures, since they're eating dead stuff, we have to think about how that animal died. So if that animal died because of pesticide use, that can cause problems for our turkey vulture. So thinking about things like that, as well as hunting, thinking about what hunters are using, if they're using lead bullets, and then maybe they're not collecting all of the animals they've used those lead bullets on, that lead is in the environment as well. Turkey vulture thinks they're finding a free meal, and unfortunately that lead can enter their system and cause issues as well.
Although turkey vultures are not being significantly impacted by climate change, yet countless species of birds are feeling the heat. I mean, rising temperatures and unpredictable weather patterns connected to climate change are negatively impacting birds.
As this happens, they can't play their important roles in keeping the ecosystems balanced.
This leads to something called a cascading effect. When one thing goes down, it starts a chain reaction.
This is a big problem. It sure is.
But together, we can find solutions and take positive action.
We know small steps and bright ideas lead to big results.
Are we ready to take positive action?
Yeah!
How can we sort of take positive action for turkey vultures and all birds around the world?
So I think probably the easiest thing you can do is just tell people how awesome turkey vultures are, right? You can go out and you can tell them that you either met Tex or got to see him on TV, and you can share his story about what a great friend they are to the environment. People think that these birds are dirty, they think that they're spreading disease, when they're actually doing the opposite. By having that bald head and those bald feet helps them to stay really nice and clean. And again, we talked about them eating those carcasses, keeping that bacteria out of the environment. So just sharing with people that they're really helpful and they're really important. And also, if you or someone in your family is a hunter, sharing with them that buying lead-free bullets is huge. That's so helpful for so many animals that might take advantage of some of those remains from hunting.
That's great. I mean, well, I'm definitely going to tell people I met Tex. I feel
Yeah,
so honored.
good.
I want his autograph after this, to be honest. Do you have any final questions?
How big can their wingspan get?
Great question. So their wingspan can be about 6 feet. So we got a good chance to see how big those wings are, and that's because they're a big bird. So they need those big wings to give them that great lift. They don't want to spend a whole lot of energy flapping their wings to fly all the time. So instead, they're going to use those wind thermals. So you'll see them circling overhead, using those great big wings to keep them aloft without using a lot of energy.
We can be Earth advocates for turkey vultures and all birds and biodiversity. We can share our knowledge by telling friends and family about turkey vultures and how important it is to protect the Earth for them, all birds, and us.
We can do our part to curb climate change and choices we make every day. We can ditch plastic and make plant-warming fossil fuels and use reusable items instead.
We can slow down fast fashion, which puts a lot of plant-warming greenhouse gases into Earth's atmosphere, and wear what we have, thrift shops, or have a clothing swap.
While we're taking positive action for species at the Akron Zoo, you can take positive action wherever you are too. Always remember,
What we do here matters there.
Because we are all connected.
If we can take positive action,
so can you!
Whoa, you all rock! Until next time, share your knowledge and keep taking positive action for biodiversity, a cooler climate, and brighter future. See you later. Bye.
We're the kids for positive change, working together so we can arrange bright ideas and actions with help from our heartbeat to heal our planet, 'cause we're one family. Our goal is finding solutions we need to save our planet. Let's start with the seed that grows into actions to help light the way. Kids for positive change, come join us today.
Kids for Positive Change is brought to you in part by Robert S. Morrison Foundation, Molded Fiberglass Foundation, Huffman Mayer Wealth Management Group of Wells Fargo Advisors, a friend of Kids for Positive Change, After School Discovery, Nancy Warner, and viewers like you. Thank you.